Hey everyone, so it's me, Jordan, here, obviously. Here I am, I pushed across the, I'm in the megalith metropolis area. I got around the pond to the other side of the old path that's bordered by those two megalithic walls. Walked along the path on the other side of the pond for a while, and then actually the road then forks from going south. It goes east and west, and I'm now going east, and on the other side of the wall off in the woods I have a collection of these large, very large, this one's enormous, this might be the largest I've ever found. These are typically referred to as native offering piles, so it's just a bunch of rocks on a big boulder, and a lot of these you're going to see in a second have big pieces of quartz in them too, quartz being sacred to Native Americans all over the Americas, from South America to North America. Let me hop in for size comparison and I'll show you some up close. So these I wouldn't consider to be megalithic, but they are very cool. They're definitely very ancient, and I'd say with certainty these are Native American, not colonial artifacts. So let's get this off the tripod. Let me show you some cool stuff up close, especially that quartz. Beautiful day today, nice and cool and dry. Okay, so here's the front of it. You can see all these rocks. And the story goes, from what I've heard, is this would be a sacred area, and natives coming through would just leave rocks as offerings. I think these are more designed as sculptures. I think you'd see many more rocks on here if they were just everyone coming through was leaving something. There's a piece of quartz. Some really big ones too. These probably weigh, I'd say these big ones weigh about 50 pounds each. I see a lot of these. This is why people call these animal effigies. This kind of resembles a turtle's head. I see a lot of these structures with similarly shaped rocks as this. This is becoming a pattern. That's why I do think these are more sculptures than just piles, as they say. There's a nice piece of quartz for you right there, about the size of a grapefruit. Another piece up here. A lot of quartz in these. Really cool. And then here's a good view. This whole area. This region actually is packed with these typical native structures. Here we go. There's another turtle-like head on their boulder. And then look here. One right there. One behind it. And I think there were a few more. Quartz right there. I was reading Manitou last night. And there's a whole chapter on the importance of the Pleiades constellation to Native Americans. And I can't remember off the top of my head, but there was some kind of connection between quartz and the Pleiades. There's a really big one. So this boulder, this would be too big for me to lift. That's got to be, I'd say that's a 200 pound, maybe 250, maybe 300 pound boulder. But somehow a group of ancient people brought this and put this here, and I do believe they put it here on purpose because of its shape, or they did shape it because it's resembled to a turtle's head. And you can see why this might be called a turtle effigy. It looks very turtle-ish. What else we got here? I think there was another piece of quartz on this one, but you can see squirrels have used this to probably bang their acorns on, just like an otter would use a rock. Here's what I think is another shaped rock right here, or at least put there because of its shape. And I think that's gonna wrap up for now. Yeah. And here's that wall network right here, which I do believe could be considered is a megalithic wall. I bet this path which is actually now a snowmobile path. I bet this was here as long as the wall was. Or I would say anyway, I think the path is probably much older than the existence of snowmobiles. And actually here you find an interesting part of the wall. Usually these walls are single boulders thick, but in multiple instances so far, I've seen these sections where they're more like piles of rubble. This one gets pretty wild. And I think that's it for now. Let's continue the hike, and let's see what else we can find.